Noctical here once again. I am doing Today I'm doing episode 15 of Asexuality in Film, and today I'm talking about people who talk to Plushies Are Kind, also known as, I apologize my Japanese, Nuigurumi to shaberuhito yasasii. It's based on a book by Ao Omae, and it was directed by Yurina Kaneko and written Suzuyuki Kaneko and Yurina Kaneko. It's from 2023 and it can be watched with subtitles over here on YouTube, which is great. I've already watched it like 3 times, only partly because of this video. It tells about the main character is Tsuyoshi Nanamori. We are introduced. We are seeing he introduced to. So yeah, we are introduced to Nanamori. We are seeing him seems to be washing something, and then we flash back to he's getting a love confession from Okawa, a girl. They are apparently just graduated high school, it seems, and she has decided to tell her like, "Oh, I'm in love with you. Develop romantic feelings for you." And Nanamori is like, "Thank you." No, but like I don't really do that type of thing, which is what he keeps saying throughout the movie. And then she gets upset and runs away. And there are other kids, they are playing and they drop a white teddy bear to the ground. And then Nanamori gets to keep the teddy bear, and we are shown that he was very gently washing that teddy bear. And then I guess we jump ahead a little bit. We are shown Nanamori on his first day of college, university. And then he has like this almost meet cute-esque, like there's some trash in the ground, and both of them are trying to grab it, but it doesn't really play like it would in American movies. It would play like a meet cute, but that's not the point in this one. So that's how he meets Mukito and Mikako, and they become friends. They immediately hit it off. They go on a very long walk, and they are from the same department. What they study, I don't think they say, or at least the subtitles don't tell me. And then they Mukito sees this flyer for a plushie club, and they decide to go. They assume like, you just make plushies there, that sounds like fun. So they go there. There's about 5 people there, 1 guy, the rest of our girls, and they are all very being like benignly weird. Like for some reason they have like a huge ball of stuffing. Is it cotton in English? But stuffing, and then they like pass it around like, you tell how you make plushies. And they are like, okay, that was a bit weird, but I want to go there again. They don't make plushies, but it seems like there's mostly good vibes. So then they go there late at night, some other day, and the guy is there, and they notice that he's talking to his plushie, to a plushie that is there. And so then next time they go there, everybody explains like, okay, we don't make plushies. None of us know how to make plushies. We are just here to we talk to the plushies. Like if you come here, you just come in here, you pick a plushie, you put your headphones on, and then you can just, everybody is just chilling and talking to their plushies over whatever. Either it's a funny story that maybe not everybody wants to hear, or it's very much dealing with the talking about how awful shit is going on in the world. And the two, and so then it's about, and then a third person, basically a third first year comes into this, is Shiraki Yui. She comes in and she's more apprehensive about the whole thing, like, okay, like this is just a place to hang out with people and plushies, and but Yui never talks to the plushies. She's just there to listen to something or read something, and like just wants the atmosphere of the club rather than the point of the club itself. So that's basically like the main themes of this movie are like, even though like people are talking to plushies, that sounds fun, but it deals with like issues like harassment a lot from various points of view. Like Yui is very much like, okay, harassment happens, you just need to cope with this, deal with it, whatever. Whereas Mukito actually sees someone be harassed in public transportation and she falls into a depression, and Nanamori like grapples with his role as a man and how the very fact that he is a man sometimes can make women scared, and how does he cope with that. And I think there's some very interesting discussions that happened around that. And then there's also a discussion of what exactly kindness means. Like the book was or the novella collection by Ao Omae, it was translated differently, like people who talk to stuffed animals are nice. So like there's a different like nuance to the translations. And like this movie also, like this musings on is, are you kind or are you weak, or is it whatever you do, is it kindness or is it indifference? And there's also the fact that kindness can be painful or scary. And can you be too kind? Can you be hurt from kindness? And those kind of interesting topics. So I think it's not necessary as a feel-good movie, as you might think from the title. But I enjoyed it. I think it has some interesting things to say about, I was gonna say, like I think very much deals with this kind of concept. Like I'm sure German also has this, but in Finnish it's known as maailmantuska, which is basically the agony of the world, the world's pain, and like it's like every terrible thing is happening. How do you cope with that? If you know everything that's going on, like how do you cope with the knowledge of that? So a lot of these characters deal with that by talking to plushies, and I think that's their worst ways. But ultimately, the movie does come to like, okay, talking to plushies is one thing, but it's also good to talk to other human beings. And so, and that's basically about the movie. But like the reason I'm talking about this movie for this series is that when I was looking if someone has done something about freckles on Tumblr, someone made like made a post about freckles and about this movie, and you can immediately tell that Giyoshi Nanamori is at the very least a romantic, because he's rejecting the love confession of his friend, and it's very much like she's like, oh, is it because you can't see me, like because we are friends, you can't see me as a girl, so that's why you're not interested in me, or is there someone else? Like, no, it's not. I just don't do that type of thing. And then I think when he goes to the Plushie Club, he is also very much like, yeah, oh, this is nice, like romance-free environment kind of. But then they go hang out at some kind of restaurant, and then everybody is talking about their relationships. Some of them are queer also, So they talk about the relationship, and oh, so this isn't a completely romance-free space. And then he decides to ask out Yui. She's like, okay, we like get along decently well. We send each other like cat videos, and we sometimes go out to eat, and like, why not try dating? And Yui's like fine. I've already like broken up with multiple people already, even though university just started. But like, I don't know. Yeah, nice. Let's just try it. And then they go out on a date, and it's fine. Is they get into a discussion about like harassment and comedy, and can it be offensive or stuff like that. And it's not really working out, but some of it's like it's very easily clocks that it's not like, this isn't very romantic. Like, it's fun to hang out with you, but this isn't really romance. And then at one point, Nanamori is staying at Yui's place, and he's sleeping on the floor, and then Yui's just come sleep next to me, and then they do, and then it's very awkward, and then he's gone by the morning, and the next time they meet each other, they like broke up, and he's like, romance isn't for me. And like, when he first asked her out, he was like, am I entering the realm of romance? And then it's like, no, it's not for him. So I appreciated that, and I like that storyline. And then he gets a little bit of validation where he says like, I guess I just don't fall in love, and some people don't. And like, but then I guess his dog dies, possibly. It seems like that. Like, I admit that like I don't watch that much Japanese stuff, so I can't always know everything about the cultural aspects, and I don't know speak any Japanese, so I'm relying on the subtitles. But it seems like his dog dies, so he goes home, and then he meets our old classmate, and then they go out to eat, and then his friends are being assholes and picking on him, and it's like, oh, there's like this girl that looks like our classmate, different than the one who was confessing love to Nanamori at the beginning, or at least they have different names, or maybe they are the same person, because like, I don't understand. Again, Japanese name usage culture is very confusing to me sometimes. But so anyway, oh, that girl looks like that girl. Didn't you have a crush on her or not? But he's like, no, I don't really do that type of thing. And then they are like, oh, but you're a virgin, right? Oh, this is so funny that you're a virgin. Then there comes a bit that I don't really there's like you're a virgin, right? That's very funny. And then he says like, doesn't either one work for you? Either one is fine, right? And I don't know. Again, I'm lacking language awareness, so I don't know. Is he talking about like, you don't like romance, you don't like sex, either one would be fine, or you don't like boys or girls, either one would be fine. I don't know what the pronouns here are referring to, but it's very clearly like referring to like he's doing things wrong, that he's not performing his role in society correctly. So it's, in some ways it is referring to his asexuality and his aromanticism. And then he just runs away because he's so upset, of course, naturally, about this. And he's like, just because I'm different, it's funny. Like, why is it funny just because I'm different? And I appreciate that. But then he falls into depression because like he's walking out out at night, and then there are women, they're working in different directions, and I guess he just starts feeling like, okay, like if I go where I'm supposed to go, like this. Like he gets into this guilt spiral about harassment and stuff like that. He's rolling that just by being a man, stuff like that. So he falls into a depression and he dyes his hair blonde. And one of the reasons I've been postponing making this video because I wanted to dye my hair before I did this, but I'm not dyeing my hair at the moment. So yeah, this is one of those movies that deals a lot more with the like the arrowness of arrow aceness, but I do think the asexuality is still there, even though it's not as much. There's the bed sharing, and then there's a how it's so funny that he's a virgin. And but he then starts to like Mukito was also like fell into a depression about harassment, but Nanamori was constantly like trying to support her the best he could, and then in the end when Nanamori falls into a depression, Mukito comes to like cheer him up, and they talk like it's fine to talk to stuffed animals, but it's also good to like actually have some human companionship and talk to other people about what happens to you, what bothers you, and stuff like that. And I do appreciate that Mokito and Nanamori is always framed as platonic. There's no, like I said, that there's a moment that could be read as meet cute, but it doesn't play like that, and they are always like, are you dating, are you together? It's always like, no, we are friends, and it's a good thing, and it's not deviated from at any point, even though Yui was, and like, and I also liked how Yui did take the rejection pretty well. Like this didn't really even seem like a romance anyway. So like I enjoyed the movie. Again, it deals with some heavy topics and it's not as fun as you might think because like these things are complicated. What does being kind mean in certain situations? And I enjoyed Nanamori's arc. I wish, like, yeah, he got some validation from Yui that maybe some people just don't fall in love. I don't quite remember what the framing was, what the what words were used, but it was something like that. But because he gets that kind of little bit of validation from Yui, but then his best friend, his former friends are like giving him shit for being essentially being arrow ace, and no one is there to tell him that he's arrow ace and that it's fine. So, but I think there's a interesting like interesting to watch this one and Freckles, like they complement each other really well. Like I really enjoyed that in Freckles the main character got to embrace her asexuality and her aromanticism, and Nanamori in this movie doesn't get that kind of like joyful closure, I guess. But I think overall he ends up being happy, and like he needs to work on things, but he will be happy and come to terms with things. So yeah, this is available on YouTube with subtitles. Again, I can give you I can't say if the subtitles are perfect. Sometimes they might fail and sometimes they might be confusing, like the very important scene, like what exactly is the friend referring to. But I think it's a very worthwhile movie to watch, and I liked it. So, bye.